All right, and we're going to go to Olympia on Saturday, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about this individual, Chris Guenzler. Hope I am saying his name correctly. Chris Guenzler has been arrested. He is facing two charges. He was being held without bail. When we checked on Sunday, did not check today. He did not have an attorney. There was not an arraignment hearing or a bail hearing scheduled. I actually would presume there was a bail hearing today, but we're a small organization. There's too much going on. We didn't have a chance to check. It is possible there wasn't a bail hearing because he would have been arrested Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So bail hearing actually might go till Tuesday because he has been charged. He is charged with first-degree assault. In the state of Washington, first-degree assault is essentially attempted murder. The state of Washington and RCW does not have attempted murder. So first-degree assault, if you read the definition of first-degree assault, it is essentially attempted murder with sentencing guidelines of 8 to 25 years. He is charged because when he discharged his weapon, he struck an individual, a woman. That person has not been identified, and we have not pursued identifying who that person is. Their story, they do explain their story a little bit on Twitter on how when they realized they were shot and what happened next. The second charge they're facing is second-degree assault. So second-degree assault in the state of Washington is felony assault. And so where first-degree assault is like big, bad, awful felony, this is just slightly big, bad, awful felony. Combined on the maximum setting guidelines on two, Guenzler could be looking at 45 years in prison. The reality is, if we presume he's a first-time offender, there is nothing that's come out that says he has a previous criminal record. But if he is a first-time offender, if he were sentenced on both crimes, it is highly unlikely he would get the 45 years on there. So at this point, we define him as a suspect because he has been arrested. He is not a person of interest. He has moved up the food chain in those. So what do we know about Chris Guenzler? We have a story up on malcontentment.com. You can go to malcontentment.com and read it, but we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit of what we know about Chris. The picture that we have up there from Chris is from his social media footprint. It's from Facebook. It's from 2016. So as recent or as far out as 4 years ago, Chris was having white nationalist ideation. There are other pictures of him with what appears to be people off-roading or a card club or a party or group of people where there are multiple Confederate flags present. So again, there is this white nationalist ideation that is deep within him. If you go on his Facebook page is still live. Which is kind of interesting to me because typically when somebody gets into this kind of trouble, their social media footprint goes, it just disappears really fast. And there is nobody in Chris's circle that is going, yeah, let's suspend his Facebook page so people can't keep looking at it. There is a ton of very sexualized content, and his likes and follows hundreds of pages that have objectification of women and very sexualized content. He is a follower of conspiracy theories. He is a follower of Trump. He is a supporter of Trump. There's pictures up there with him with the Trump flags. Interestingly, Chris was at Jay Inslee's house on Thanksgiving Day. Washington State Patrol. We're going to talk a little bit about that one. Chris was at Jay Inslee's house on Bainbridge Island at a event that was set up there to protest not wearing masks. Protesters blocked the road. I thought you weren't supposed to block the road. Protesters basically co-opted a individual's front lawn, not Jay Inslee's, but another person without their permission. I thought you were supposed to respect property rights. They continue to then protest outside of the governor's house. I thought you weren't supposed to go to officials' house. Chris was there, and Chris actually talked to the Kitsap Sun newspaper. He was the lead name in their interview, and they had there. And he was there because he wants his right to work and his freedoms in America. You can go to the Kitsap Sun and you can read that story up there. Bard's Eye News streamed that event. We shared the stream as a watch party on our page with the caveat of we don't agree with what's going on. We don't agree with the views expressed with Bard's Eye News. But with that, this is news, so we're going to go ahead and show it to you. And what happened is there were a series of speeches that were going on outside of Jay Inslee's house. And as the day wore on, those speeches got angrier and angrier and angrier until there was an individual that was basically saying, to paraphrase, it was not Chris Guenzler, but it basically was, screw Lauren Culp, screw him telling us not to paraphrase, take direct action. We've got to do more. We've got to get more aggressive. So they're kind of making threats out of the governor's house. And there was at least one state police cruiser that was there. But, we've covered a lot of marches, including marches that have gone to multiple officials' homes. No one's ever brought a gun. Nobody's ever uttered a threat at any official. Nobody has ever screamed or yelled at officials and said, let's just say, general awful things. But that was going on inside the Jay's house. But you know what? The Washington State Patrol was totally cool with it, because in some of the shots we could see that there was a Washington State Patrol police cruiser. And what the word was they were blocking the street, just in case somebody comes along and decides to drive through them, because I thought protesters were supposed to keep out of the streets. I mean, chuds.
Chud. It's a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
These are chuds.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
That's what you say, right? I mean, that's what you say. Anytime somebody gets a person drives their car through protesters, it's, well, they should have common sense to stay out of the road. We certainly at the Malcontent News do not advocate running over protesters, regardless of your political stripes. And we are defenders of the First Amendment. And you're not. Yes, we are. And I have even defended Katie Daviscourt on camera when she got maced. And I reminded Katie of that. But Katie forgot that reminder. And that's a whole nother discussion for another day. This ties into the other story. And what we're seeing happen is in Olympia, Vancouver, these areas are becoming real hotbeds for action now. Portland's quieting down a little bit. Yeah, I know Portland got spicy yesterday, and there were 3 arrests if you connect all the dots for basically no reason. You could get maybe trespassing at the ice thing. I know. But Portland has gotten way quieter than, say, where it was 30 or 45 days ago. Seattle has gotten much quieter than, say, with November 30th is kind of the last, right? But we're seeing Vancouver and we are seeing Olympia heat up. Well, why are they heating up? Well, Olympia is the state capital. That makes sense. But Vancouver is basically Proud Boy Central. Vancouver, Washington just might as well be the world headquarters for the Proud Boy movement. And let's not forget what the AP calls the Proud Boys. They call them a extreme right-wing terrorist organization.